morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day you're deciding to watch this video. Welcome to Earth 172, where we're going to discuss all things about the oceans and a little bit about atmosphere and climate change, yada yada. I just wanted to make a quick video to showcase the Canvas page and kind of give you a little bit of rundown on how it's set up and maybe some tips and tricks. There is a separate video in order to show you the software that we use for our book and a lot of our assignments and things like that. So that's a whole separate video because that takes a while to get through. Speaking of the book, actually, it's online, but I do have a couple of copies, hard copies if you would like. It's not the same edition that we're using with the online version. However, a lot of the content is the same. So anyways, I know that maybe we're all whizzes with Canvas now at this point, but every instructor sets up their Canvas page differently. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown of how ours is set up. One thing I do also need to point out here is that the Canvas page for the lecture portion of this class will be different than the lab portion of this class. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. How I have this set up will be different from how your TAs have the labs set up. So I really just want to let you know that is the thing. So let's get into it. So when you click the home page for this class, it will direct you to this lovely page here. So some things, first we'll have a liquid syllabus. So it's basically like a Google site version of the main talking points of the syllabus. It doesn't have everything that the whole official syllabus has on it, which you can find on a different link. But it's a little bit more accessible to view because it's a Google site. It's not like a Word document or a Google document. It's literally a website. So you can access it on your phone or a tablet or a laptop and kind of get the whole gist of what the class is going to be like. It also includes a little bit of a welcome video for me, just like kind of a little bit of background of who I am and what I've been up to. It also has just a little blurb about the class itself, where we're meeting, what times we're meeting, etc. But the most important part here, I think, will be the how to get in touch with me section. So here's my email, and here's also my cell phone number. You can use this to contact me at any time of day. If you have an issue with something, mostly it'll be for tech issues, but if you find something funny on TikTok or on Instagram and you want to send it to me, I'm more than happy to have that as well. No biggie here. There's only been one person in my whole time of sharing my cell phone number that abused it. So please just don't be the one that abuses it. And then office hours. So I have office hours this semester, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. I am on campus on Mondays through Thursdays. So if you want to pop into my office in person for that, you're more than welcome to. And then on Fridays, I'm virtual or I'm at a different campus. So, but if you're not able to make it to class or say you're just too lazy to get out of bed that morning, which fair enough, you can just pop on virtually. So my office, by the way, which is where I am at currently, is right across the hallway from where your lab is going to be held. So you can always pull me in from that. And then some other important links here, of course, the official syllabus and the schedule through Google Sheets. So Google Sheets, I'm actually able to kind of modify the schedule, what we get through, what we don't get through, etc. So that might be a better resource for where we're at. Then there's just some other things here as well. There's a whole study guide for the whole course. So you can use that. That's a Google Doc that you can copy to your own drive. Food and Shelter and Success is a really cool program through state that can help with food insecurity, shelter insecurity, and financial insecurity. So that might be a helpful thing if you need it. There's no harm in asking for assistance when needed. And then Canvas technical support, Connect technical support, and then just straight up SFSU IT. Then a couple other links that I have here are for scholarship opportunities. So money is always a thing, right? We live in the Bay Area, for goodness sake. So there's lots of scholarship and internship opportunities around campus. So those are some links that will be helpful for you to find what they are. I'm not always privy to what everything is going on. It's a really large campus and lots of programs and stuff. So those may be helpful. Another little thing that might be more fun, I should say, especially if you're new to San Francisco. We have two kind of like science museums, if you will. We have the Exploratorium, which is over on the Embarcadero. Then we also have the Cal Academy of Sciences, which is over here in Golden Gate Park. They're fun and cool to go to during the day, you know, whatever, especially if you like kids, because there's kids freaking everywhere. But if you're not a fan of children, or if you just want to kind of tinker around stuff with it not being nearly as busy, they have adult night activities, which are really cool. So the Exploratorium, if you're under 21, but above 18, this will be a fun thing for you. They have different themes each Thursday night. And I'll try to like keep an eye on what those themes are and try to broadcast them, especially if they're ocean or weather related. But if you're over 21, there's a bar, so you can like grab a drink and walk around the whole space, which is really cool. And then the Cal Academy, that one is 21 plus only, but there's also different themes. There's just not generally as many as the Exploratorium. They're both really freaking awesome. I've been to both. You might see me if you go there. They're super, super cool and super fun to go to if you have maybe for like a date night or a roommate night or just a solo night. I mean, I go solo all the time. My boyfriend tends to work on Thursday night. So anyways, really, really fun. And I highly recommend it if you've never been before. Back to the technical things. So on the right-hand side, you'll see a to-do list. So this will include any assignments that are due during the week or for whatever week you're in. Notice we do already have some assignments for the first week of class. Oh my God, I know. But it's okay. They're really short. They shouldn't take you too long to complete. And I'll go over kind of the real logistics of that on our first day of class. You can also access the assignments in the assignments tab. So if you click on that, it'll give you upcoming assignments, which I know are a lot, but you can show by date, you can show by type, which is a kind of fun thing. You can also just go to the calendar. That might be helpful if you're like a calendar sort of person. So that will show you like when things are due, like straight up in a calendar, which could be useful if you're someone who likes to do things like that or organize your thoughts in that way. Besides all of that, with our homepage and stuff, then you're going to go to the module section. And the module section is where you're going to really have all of the things that we're going to be doing for the class and how I have it sort of set up. So the first two modules are going to be the most important ones, at least for the first week of classes. Notice how it says here, must view first. Wonder what that means. Maybe that you have to view it first. And then and notice how like with the grayed out stuff, you can't click on them. You're like, bruh, I really need to do these assignments. Like it's Saturday night or Sunday night at 11 p.m. I need to get this stuff completed. Sweet. Awesome. You have to first view the first module before you do that, okay? So I have my information and communication policy. It's really just a little blurb about me, who I am, more of my contact information. It's the same exact information from the homepage. And then from here, you can either just click next, which goes kind of forward into some of the stuff. I like to put pictures in a lot of these pages. So just kind of a general overview of how the class is set up and successful learning just in general, especially if you're a freshman and you're kind of incoming, you got to figure out how to do things, right? Maybe you have to kind of completely relearn how to do stuff. So this might be a useful page for you to have a look at. There's also, I think that's kind of really it in terms of like those things. And then I have the syllabus and schedule and guided notes here as well as links. So the one thing that's going to be really helpful for you is to very carefully read the syllabus so that you can complete the syllabus quiz in its entirety and get 100% the first time. That would be kind of nice, right? That way you don't have to retake it because you have to score at least 100% in order to get credit for the quiz. Then the other things are just little surveys. Notice that the pre-assessment questions and the tech survey, those are ungraded, so those may not pop up in your calendar, but I do still want you to complete them. And then we get to revisit some geography. Sorry, not sorry about it. And then the rest of the Canvas page is set up via unit. So our first unit is geological oceanography, then chemical oceanography and the atmosphere, as well as climate change, kind of weaved in there as well, physical oceanography, and then biological oceanography. I'm going to say this so many times already on the first day of class, but this is not a marine biology class. We'll get to biology eventually. We'll talk about the animals eventually. I'll show videos almost every day about really cool things I find on the internet. But this is not all about the animals. If you want a class all about the animals, drop this class and take marine bio instead. And then we do have one project in this class, but it's done about halfway through the class, or it's due kind of halfway through the class, so then you don't have to worry too much about having to complete a big old project at the end of the course, which is kind of nice. And there is some extra credit opportunities here as well. So as you'll see how I have everything set up, I'll go back to the first one just to kind of show. It's kind of broken up into sections, right? So we have an exam prep section, which I'll add more stuff to later. Discussion boards, oh my God, I know. But with a class of 124, like, you know, we may not all be ready to speak in front of people. So this is why that'll be beneficial. Homework and exams here, and then smart book readings are here as well. So I have a whole other video about Connect and these assignments, so I'm not going to go too far into that. But what I do just want to point out are things like the geological, you know, the overview pages really just show like what we're going to be talking about in that unit and some due dates for stuff that's going on, as well as maybe any other outside resources you may need. So that's a nice thing to look into. But then I do also post all of the lecture slides. But just because I post the lecture slides does not mean that you can just look at the slides and call it a day. Coming to class is going to be really, really imperative for you to understand the slides that I post, as well as the fact that a lot of my slides have just pictures only without any further explanation. And then you may not be able to look at the picture and you're like, sweet picture, like what else is going on here? So come to class. Also, guess what I do in class? I give you the short answer questions. So I give you the answers for those. So please come to class. You'll get the short answer questions and the answers. And it's fun. It's a fun class. I try to make it lighthearted and funny. But anyway, so you'll be able to access all of the lecture slides here. And then there's other good links here on the side that may be useful for you, especially like the library and student resources might be kind of nice. And then a whole nother video is going to go around the Connect situation. So if you have, that's basically how things are laid out. So hopefully it's laid out in a way that works for you. I know, things work out differently for everybody. But if you have any questions, comments, or concerns on anything, please do not hesitate to reach out. I promise, even though I'm covered in tattoos, I'm approachable, right? So one's feminine, right? It's all flowers and pretty and stuff. All right, my friends, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the flippy floppy.